a lot of hostility. The elections, certainly where I was, could not have been deemed free and fair.
Yes. Those were the bad old days.
Those were the bad old days. That's where we're coming from.
Yes.
Do recall that in 1989, we actually all went to King's House and signed a peace treaty. A peace treaty, as though we were warring tribes.
Yes.
And there were people who celebrated it. I was not one such. I was totally dismayed that my country had come to that point.
Yes.
So I have a vested interest in ensuring that the institutions which have made us reach this stage where we can all announce our political affiliation without feeling that we're going to be met with a violent reaction, where we can wear red or we can wear green and we can hug each other up. That means a lot to me personally because of my own experience. What this government has done, in my view, is undermined not just one, but two critical institutions because they determined that there was no need to have a political ombudsman. But in passing on that responsibility to the ECJ, they have held up the ECJ to a level of scrutiny which is quite unacceptable. The ECJ has been thrust into the public space in an uncharacteristically derogatory way. Their reputation now is being challenged, and I think that is unfortunate.
Students were transported Monday morning from Buff Bay to Titchfield and Portland High Schools in Portland as part of the government's pilot project for the new rural school bus system. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says while only one bus is currently operating, more will be rolled out by September to improve student safety. He assured taxi operators that the initiative won't threaten their livelihoods, but aims to provide a safer commute for students.
School, but there's enough adults for them to have a viable business rather than to try to squeeze children in the trunks and all over the cars on top of one another like cargo. It's unacceptable. So again, my position is very clear. We need to work together, both private transportation, public transportation, and the government. And the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Transport is committed to that, and you are going to see a rollout of the 100 school buses promised. Plus we have the other 100 regular JUTC buses coming in at the same time. So September morning, both the children and the commuters in the KMTR and the children in rural Jamaica and urban Jamaica will see and benefit from an improved transport system.
Business operators caught selling counterfeit products face serious consequences, including hefty fines, jail time, and loss of major investments. Managing partner at Duncox Attorneys at Law, Emmy Leiber, is warning operators to steer clear of brand misrepresentation and instead import authentic or generic products that do not violate trademark laws.
Fiscal impact of it can be quite significant, particularly for those who are doing it as a business.
Yes.
You know, who are bringing in large volumes and quantities of these goods for resale purposes. They can end up on the wrong side of the law. There's also a civil remedy for what they call an injunction, which is a court order that basically says stop. Stop. Right? And if you don't stop, we're going to lock you up. And then also there's an account of profits concept. So let's say you've been doing this for a while and them just catch you, right? They can get an order from the court that says, account to me, the brand, for the amount of money that you made over this period and pay over that money that you made to me.
Wow.
Because you have benefited from my brand, right? So you can lose anything that you put in, you can lose and lose and lose.
4 primary schools will advance to the second phase of the Westmoreland Primary School's container gardening project aimed at promoting sustainable agriculture. The project features teams of students growing small crops with recycled plastic containers. Key stakeholders, icon importers and distributors, along with Westmoreland 4-H and other sponsors, say the project is all about eco-friendly practices and fostering youth development.
When we started, we were basically looking at the plastic bottles that we have for the production of the chilled water purified drinking water that we produce. So this is plastic, and plastic, as you know, is not good for the environment. So part of our mission is to protect the environment. We want to positively impact the environment. So when we thought about this too, we looked at the bottles, and part of the project purpose was to find a way to recycle the plastic rather than having it contaminate the environment. So it is really several different reasons: environment, and to continue to invest in the future, the development of the youth for the future of Jamaica.
To international news now, U.S. President Donald Trump says he will hit movies made in foreign countries with 100% tariffs as he ramps up trade disputes with nations around the world. Trump says he was authorizing the U.S. Department of Commerce and Trade representative to start the process to impose the levy because America's movie industry was dying, quote, a very fast death. More from the BBC.
President Donald Trump has announced new tariffs on all films made outside the United States, claiming Hollywood was being devastated by a trend of American filmmakers and studios working abroad. He accused other countries of luring film crews with tax breaks, calling it a threat to national security. The move comes as the White House is under mounting criticism over its trade policies that have seen Mr. Trump impose sweeping tariffs on countries around the globe. Writing on his Truth Social platform, he said, "I am authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands." We can now speak to film, TV and culture critic Ashanti Omka. Thank you so much for joining us on BBC News. So what do you make of the president's claims that the American film industry is being devastated by other countries luring film crews to their countries?
Well, certainly filmmaking has been a very global thing for over a century now. It's been such a big industry that makes so much money globally. The global box office is huge. And a lot of those films that make that money are Hollywood productions. And in this case, it is quite a blow to the industry to hear that 100% tariff is going to be put on these productions, just because mainly these huge, Hollywood productions, the Mission Impossibles, the Marvel films are being made in different parts of the globe. And that's the appeal of these films. The whole idea is that these films are being loved across the globe. And it is a very worrying thing for the film industry right now.
Stay with us for the live discussion segment up next.
What do these people know that you don't know? They understand how listing on the Jamaica Stock Exchange can improve the profitability of their company. They know the potential for increasing the company's capital, the governance requirements, the tax responsibilities, the ownership implications, and the procedures for listing. They have the knowledge to make an informed decision on whether or not to go public. Knowledge is power. If you don't know, you can't act. Begin a conversation with the Jamaica Stock Exchange to gain the information you need to make a decision.
I'm Stafford Burrows.
I'm Marilyn Burrows.
My name is Hugh Graham.
I'm John Mafood.
My name is Derek Cottrell, and we are listed on the Jamaica Junior Stock Exchange.
Give us a call today at 876-967-3271 to begin your transformation through conversation. We want to see your company listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Get tiles and get creative with your floors, walls, and all the spaces in between. Our knowledgeable sales consultants are happy to help create your beautiful finish with the latest designs in first quality porcelain, wood look, vinyl, mosaics, natural stones, and countertops. At Creative, you will get every tile you need for your residential or commercial projects. Creative Building Finishes, your one-stop shop for everything tiles. Visit our showroom at 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get creative.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet.
In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward. The time is 12:15.
Thanks so much for staying with us. So it's our discussion segment. We're talking road fatalities because they continue to be a major problem in Jamaica. And as authorities continue to grapple with this concern, they're seeking ways to prevent the growing crisis. We're being joined by Dr. Lucien Jones. He's the Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, the NRSC. Welcome, Dr. Jones.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you, and hello to your listeners and to you.
Indeed. I know that Dr. Jones has been a frequent guest on many of our programs here on CVM TV, and certainly no stranger to the rising number of road fatalities in Jamaica. If we could share the data today for what we've seen thus far in the year, Dr. Jones, and then we'll talk a little about some of the partnerships that have been trying to drive down these numbers.
So the police report this morning is that 131 precious lives have been lost on our roads for this year, compared to 147 last year. So we are down 11%. But the context in which this is being shared is that about a month ago, we were down about 15%. So the rate of deceleration year to year is slowing down, and we need to go down much faster to meet the mandate from the World Health Organization, which has mandated all countries to reduce fatalities during the second decade of road safety by 50% by 2030. And our baseline figure for 2021 was in excess of 400. So we need to go down to about 212 if we are going to meet the requirements of the WHO. And it's not just an arbitrary requirement set by the World Health Organization. It is set because of a very clear reason. And the reason is that 1.2 million people are dying every year across the globe. And our contribution so far is 131, which means that it is affecting the healthcare system. It's a tremendous burden, tremendous cost on the healthcare system. There was some research done in 2014, if I remember correctly, and this data needs to be upgraded and updated.
Yes.
Where about 68% of the Ministry of Health budget, if you exclude salaries, was being affected by the number of injuries that happened in that time period, and that's a long time ago. So the cost of care to the country is tremendous, and also the cost of our development. Road safety has been inserted into the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So it's a matter of road safety anymore. It's a matter of development affecting our national development. And of course, we've been talking about the fact that the cost to the country can eat up about 5% of your GDP easily. And our lack of growth in our country has been a topic of great discussion for a long time. So if we pay attention to road safety, we can make a big difference in terms of just the growth of the economy, and therefore place our country in a much better position. So road safety is a big issue, it's a big deal.
Indeed. It's why perhaps the PAHO partnerships are even more important for developing nations like our own at this time. Talk to us a little about what has resulted from these partnerships and how much influence it has had or effect on reducing these numbers.
Well, the effect is to come, and we can speculate about what is happening. But the context of this really is that we applied to the UN World Safety Fund last year. Successfully, we got a grant of $400,000. And any grant that comes from a UN agency has to be administered through another agency. And PAHO is the agency through which is being administered. And they are doing three things. One is to increase the number of breathalyzers